important topic, that is real and nominal GDP. First of all, we know what is GDP. It is the value of the goods produced, or it is the value of the production of an economy. And simply GDP is always in the monetary terms, because it will be difficult if I try to calculate the GDP in terms of commodities. For example, say in an economy, say 10 cars were produced, say 5 markers were produced, or say 50 markers were produced, say 100 books were produced, and so on. Okay, so it will be difficult to add 10 cars and 50 markers and 100 books. So what we do is we take their monetary value, that is the money value. Money value of 10 cars will be 10 into value of 1 car. Suppose the value of 1 car is 1 lakh rupees. So it means here the value will be 10 lakh. For marker, suppose the value of 1 marker is 20 rupees. So 20 into 50, that will be 1000 rupees. Suppose the value of book is say 100 rupees. So this will be 10,000 rupees. So GDP will be, we will get the GDP in the monetary terms, right? And it means that the GDP will be calculated by multiplying the price and quantity of all the commodities which are being produced in an economy, and then summating them or adding them together. So this is the way how we calculate GDP. Now after knowing this, we can understand the difference between the real and nominal GDP. Real GDP is the GDP at constant prices, and nominal GDP is the GDP at current prices. Means I can also call it as GDP, real GDP as GDP at constant prices, and I can also call nominal GDP as the GDP at current prices. Just take an example. Suppose I say commodity X. Say in 2010, 50 units of this good X were produced in the economy, and the price of this particular commodity was 10 rupees. So it means GDP of 2010 for commodity X is rupees 500, right? Now suppose in 2012, say 40 units of the good were produced, same good X, but this time the price of the good was say 15 rupees. So now the GDP for good X in 2012 is rupees 600. It means when I will look at the money value or the monetary value of GDP in 2010 for commodity X, that will be 500, and for 2012 it will be 600, and these both are nominal GDPs. Means this is also the GDP at the current price of the same year or 2010, and this is the GDP of 2012 at the price of 2012. It means that this nominal GDP will fail to show me the correct picture. About the economy. Why I am saying this, that it fails to show me the correct picture? Because the GDP is showing me that the economy is growing, there is growth, or there is rise in the GDP. But actually what is happening? The production is decreasing. Production tends to decline, and when production is declining, it means that the economic activities are decreasing in the economy. So actually my economy is going backwards, but this nominal GDP is showing me that the economy is growing. That's why I say that it does not show me the correct picture of the economy. So to solve this problem, we introduce the concept of real GDP. Just let it be the same example. When we talk about the real GDP, then what we do is we calculate it at the constant price or at the base year price. This term base year you must have done in class 11 in the index numbers. Base year is a year which is marked as the base for the calculation of GDP in an economy, and it is a year which doesn't have any unfortunate losses or doesn't have any abnormal or supernormal gains. It is a normal working year in the economy. Say for example, if I have to select the base year for the Indian economy, I would select a year in which there hasn't been any drought or famine or any such calamity, or there hasn't been any abnormal profit or any you can say fortunate gain which may not occur again. Right now the base year of Indian economy is 2000 and 2001. Earlier it used to be 1996. Earlier it was 1990. So it is changed according to the changes in the circumstances. Now to solve this problem, what I do is, suppose in 2000 and 2001 the price of this commodity X was say 6 rupees. So what I will do is, I will calculate the GDP at the price of rupees 6. It means that GDP for 2010 will be 50 into 6, that is 300, and for 2012 it will be 40 into 6, that will be 240. So now I get the correct picture that the economic growth is declining or falling, or economy is moving backwards. Right? This is the difference between real and nominal GDP. This is how it is calculated. I have explained you all this so that you can understand it forever and never forget that what is real GDP and what is nominal GDP. And always remember, when we are talking about about using GDP as a measure of growth or as a measure of welfare, we always take the real GDP, because nominal GDP will always give me the wrong picture about the economy. So this is one limitation of using GDP as a measure of welfare, which we try to solve by introducing the concept of base year or the GDP at real prices or the constant prices. Then next, one more important topic is that the limitations of using GDP as a measure of welfare. See, many times in the news or any other program or any magazine releases or in the newspaper, you must have seen that the GDP is increasing by this much, or it is increasing at the rate of certain percent, 7 or 8%. What we are trying to do is, we are trying to calculate the growth of our economy on the basis of the GDP. And it is true that most of the growth is calculated in the terms of GDP, but there are certain limitations of using GDP as a measure of growth or welfare. The first is that we always have to use the real GDP that we just discussed, that it should always be the real GDP, not the nominal GDP. So if we are using nominal GDP, that is also wrong, that is a limitation. Second is externalities. Externality can be defined as a particular event or an activity from which a particular party or a person is affected but is not directly part of it. Just understand, it is any event by which a person or a party or an organization is affected but it is not directly part of it. Suppose, take an example, you had to reach to your school on time. You started on time but you got late because of an accident happened on that particular road. So you were not involved directly into that accident, but that accident caused a jam because of which you got late. So it means for you this event is an externality. For example, suppose the children used to play in a park in a particular place, and now that park has been converted into or has been turned into an industry or agricultural land. So they do not have any place to play now. So they are affected by this converting of the park into an industry or a factory, but they are not directly part of it. So this is the externality, and GDP doesn't consider any externality. Externality may be positive or negative, but here we are talking about the negative externalities which are not being considered by the GDP. Then third is non-monetary transactions. Okay, non-monetary transactions are those transactions which cannot be measured in terms of money. That is, say the social condition of the economy, the crime rate at a particular place, the literacy rate at a particular place. So these are not, cannot be measured in the terms of money. That's why they are also not included in the GDP. Then fourth could be it doesn't consider the environment. Okay, it may cause some harm to the environment. Like setting up of the industries can lead to more pollution. Okay, noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution. So these are also not counted under the GDP. So these are the four basic limitations of using GDP as a measure of welfare, and these may be asked from informal questions from you. Okay, then another concept is green GDP. The newer version of GDP is known as the green GDP. It is simply the growth in GDP without harming the environment. Okay, where we are considering our environment before taking any decision, or you can say the growth of the industries is not harming the environment. Like for example, you must have come across there are various government norms behind the disposal of the waste from the factories. Okay, they have to put in the treatment plants and so on. Similarly, for the industries which release smoke, they also have to have, if there is any poisonous gas, they have to first filter it, first treat it, and then only they can leave the waste into the environment. So this type of concept is known as green GDP, where the GDP growth is without harming the environment and also using the resources in a sustainable manner. Means not over exploiting the resources. Then the next topic would be GNDI, that is gross